going on, people? We're back. It's another week, another day, another dollar, another sunny. It's sunny, right?
No, it's raining today.
Okay, it's a rainy day, but yeah. As always, people, it's the Swish and Flow podcast. It's your boy P plus. We got BY.
My name is BY, and I am Canadian.
You really had to start off that way, did you? But before I go on into like a haters corner right now, because that's what I think is what this next thing we're gonna talk about is. But shout outs to Jay, shout outs to Lee. All right. So, what BY just did was reference a guy I really hate.
Uh-huh.
And for those of you, those of you who don't know, I am a little bit of a hater sometimes, but
Oh, yeah? A little bit?
a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. But we're talking about the one and only I Am Semen Liu.
Semen Liu.
Semen Liu. Or Simu Liu.
Simu.
Okay. Yeah.
Get Shang-Chi's name right.
Shang-Chi, yeah. So for those who don't know who he is, he's the actor from Shang-Chi.
Kim's Convenience.
Kim's Convenience, right?
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
He's had 2 significant roles, and that's it. I don't even know if some people actually Kim's Convenience is pretty popular now. I think it blew up a bit.
Yeah, especially when it went on Netflix.
Right? Oh, it went on
It-
Netflix. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's how it got very popular in the States. Because who's
okay.
watching CBC?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was wondering how like Americans would have found out about it.
Yeah, Netflix.
Okay, so yeah, no, it's you know what? I'll say Kim's Convenience was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked it, but not because of him. Everybody else, he was carried by the other actors and actresses in that show. So, but I mean, I think did we talk about Shang-Chi? I think we might have, but.
Might have.
I'm gonna just say that was not a good movie, and he was not a good actor. I can't stand him. He's such a terrible actor.
That's blasphemy.
He is like the worst Asian you could have picked for that role.
Really?
That is my take on that movie.
No, I think there's worse.
Who?
Ken Jeong.
Who's Ken? Oh, Ken Jeong. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's the
Yeah,
worst. I hate him.
I mean, okay, yeah, but they're never gonna choose him for the role.
I don't know.
Yeah. But no, I think he's just that bad.
Ken Jeong is like the only other Asian that's being hired by Hollywood, anyways.
I mean, but not for serious roles. Like
No, well, again, who's another Asian actor that you can name that's not like Jackie Chan?
I mean, Jet Li.
Okay, Jet Li.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, fine, it's 2. But they're all over. They're both like 60 years old.
true.
So
okay,
name an
okay.
under 60-year-old Asian actor.
I mean, you could have picked up anybody from China or Hong Kong or whatever, right?
I hate.
The look on his face he just gave me was like, "Did you really just say that?" Well,
You know,
no,
man, you're
really,
supposed to get.
I mean,
You're supposed
you
to
talk
get
about
an Asian
American,
American or
okay.
Asian Canadian,
You
right?
talk about him. Okay. Okay. I'll.
That
Sure.
was the rule.
But you probably could have picked up an unknown one. Like I don't know.
Well,
anything.
Simu Liu was unknown,
No, he was
only known because of we're in Canada, right?
yeah, but he
For an
was-
American audience, he's relatively unknown. He's never been in a movie before.
right.
He's a TV actor. Okay.
So they needed someone who had experience, I guess if you want to call it that.
No, they probably cast a wide net in order to hire whoever Shang-Chi is. Again, this is a Marvel movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are no big name Asian actors or Asian American actors within that age range,
Right.
right? I mean, you got like your BD Wongs, you got your Daniel Kims, you got your that's it, man.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play the audio just for everybody to hear it, and so you're gonna hear it, and then And then yeah, well, you're gonna hear it, and then we'll comment on what he just said. So here it is.
Some crazy energy, Toronto. It's almost as if you guys have been cooped up at home for 2 years straight or something. Now, we are broadcasting live nationwide at Budweiser Stage, so if anyone has ever wanted to go viral, like around the world, now's your chance. Come on. The floor is open. Have at her. No one? Avril? Sean? Any takers? Front row? Nobody wants to slap me. Okay, hey, sure. Suit yourselves. We're here to celebrate artists like Shawn Mendes, Avril Lavigne, and Arcade Fire, who, like me, have all fulfilled the ultimate Canadian dream of making it in America. Yes, but to our credit, we always come back. We do. Because we love this country. I love this country. And, you know, I'm not a curler or anything, but I know what it means to hurry hard. And the only fight I ever lost was against the Canada Goose. I went to Montreal for my 18th birthday for the wink wink culture. And my favorite thing about Toronto, the CN Tower and Drake, hashtag views, hashtag best I ever had. I proudly fill my days with Canadian inventions like basketball, Timbeads, or insulin. And hey, not a lot of people know this, but Canada also invented the pacemaker, which we all desperately need because the Leafs keep giving us heart attacks. Better luck next year, boys. In Canada, you can truly have anything, except for affordable housing. That one's a tough one. And whether you call it a cabin, a camp, or a cottage, we spell weekend without the third E. I speak English and Mandarin, et un petit peu française. I grew up on ketchup chips, roti, and Jamaican beef patties. And by the way, it is pronounced bubble tea, okay? Not boba, bubble tea, goddammit! So whatever your background or gender, even if it's Toronto man's, everyone is fam. Because Canada is a place where the government is also our drug dealer. And we're into snowboarding, not waterboarding. And where a woman always has the right to choose. My name is Simu Liu, and I am Canadian. Yes. Thank you.
All right, so you just heard it, and you know what? It is so cringe. I just like, okay. Well, we'll start off with the first thing that he did, the Will Smith joke.
That was really bad. That
I mean,
that wasn't a good look.
I mean, come on, bro, come on. I was like, oh, what are you doing, man? Like he literally just invited anybody. Like he was like, oh, let me, invite anybody to slap me. Like,
But no,
what are you doing?
And the thing is, the worst part is they showed audience reaction and no one reacted. Like no one was really laughing. It wasn't. There was no like pity laughs. Yeah, it was so cringe. Just like they showed like Shawn Mendes and Shawn Mendes just
he was just
straight.
he was just looking at him like, what, okay, yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It's just like
the joke is almost as old as the G.I. Jane joke, right?
At
least it feels that way, right? Because it was like
it's aged.
This was 2 months old already.
Wait, is it that long? No, wait.
2 months. It happened in May or March.
Oh wow, it's been
no,
long.
wait.
No, it didn't happen.
Happened in February.
Wait, the
Oscars?
Hold on, the slap happened in February?
I think so, because it was
wow.
not that long after the Super Bowl. I think like 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, if I remember correctly. So okay, March, April, May.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 3-month-old joke.
Dang, that is old. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. So yeah, it's. I don't know. I just keep thinking like, okay, you know what? I won't blame him. I won't blame him because
He's
I'm
got
pretty
writers.
sure. Yeah, he had to say what was on um the script or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Is it teleprompter? Teleprompter.
Well,
right?
again, he's got to collaborate with the writers and all that stuff, right? He's got to
Yeah.
agree to this, but because he has to practice it too.
I'm pretty sure he had no like I'm pretty sure he had like he didn't say no to anything. I'm pretty sure everything was on the table. There's no he seems like a type of guy who just says yes.
Yeah, but again,
a yes
you're
man.
also very. You got. I don't want to hate on Canada, but
Yeah.
I mean the quality of writing on this was probably not great too. So
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so here's another thing. So obviously we just heard it, but like I didn't like the injection of politics. I hate.
Is that
I hate
what
when
you
they
had?
do that. Well, it's okay. So towards the end, he's like, "Oh, and he's like Canada will,
This is the place where
we could buy
women get
or women have the
get to
choice or
have a
something."
choice.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Well, that's the big topic that's right
I'm
now,
like,
right? The
is it?
Roe v. Wade and
oh,
abortion.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, but I don't know.
No, it
It's
is
too
actually the biggest
crazy.
topic that's been going on in the past couple of weeks.
It's like it's an award show. Why you gotta do that? I mean, this is my personal opinion, but it's just like why you gotta bring stuff like this in. Obviously, the audience started cheering because like, what else are they supposed to do? Not cheer? Like, I mean, Shawn Mendes still looked at him, with a straight face, but like, there's that, and okay, I will say that there were some jokes that weren't too bad. They were okay, I didn't mind like he's saying the government is our dealer,
Mm-hmm.
which is true.
That's true.
That's not so bad. It wasn't a bad joke. I was okay with that. But like, and he was saying like we like to snowboard or something. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it felt like he was
Okay.
name checking rather than actually telling jokes.
Yeah, I did feel a little that way, and I feel like you mentioned this before, but like he's a tryhard,
Yes, so
He's
I
a
said that in the chat.
major tryhard.
I don't know if it's just the delivery of it, but it just felt like he was a tryhard. But again, he's not the guy that's writing this, or he could have contributed, but he's not the guy who's writing this. He's the performer.
So, so this goes back to me saying he's a bad actor. He couldn't even deliver any of these lines so well. He couldn't sell me. He couldn't sell me ketchup, and I like ketchup. You know what I mean?
Well, he
Like-
did mention ketchup chips, but the
Oh,
thing
yeah,
is, it's going to be a bad look for him because it's also a bad venue. They're at the Budweiser stage,
right,
which is
yeah.
outdoors.
Okay, outdoors, yeah.
So he's on a mic. He's in a huge crowd. So when you're in that position, you're going to have to really ham it up, or really like, yeah, you have to like project like you're in a play,
Yeah.
and so you're not going to really be acting per se.
So- Okay, here. Let me put it to you another way. I think this is to be really concise on this. I think he was placed in the wrong role. This is not his role. Being an MC, being a host. That's
Yeah, I
not
get
his
it.
type of role. Like he was not played like this. He honestly I hate to say this, but put him in a TV show or movie role. Like he
No,
would
that's
be
fair,
much
that's
better,
fair.
right? Like he was not the right guy to place in this role.
Yeah, no, and that I would say that for most actors too.
Right, and this is why I think comedians are better in these roles because they have a better. They're used to it because they're always on stage. That's
Yeah.
the first thing, right? And then they have a feel for the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like so, and live theater people
Yeah.
are the same way. They're very good at this, but he's not.
So this is not even a Simu problem. This is just This is
It was a hiring problem, isn't it?
well, again, this is most actors are terrible at hosting.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, I'll give you that.
Right.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Um,
That's why that you know what? To your point, this is why we rarely ever see that in the Oscars. It's always a comedian, some sort of stand-up comedian, essentially.
and that's why a lot of times they hire the same people. Like let's say Billy Crystal has hosted Oscars many times, or Steve Martin has done that, because you're comfortable with that.
Yes, yes, that's true.
When you get
Like he should have just been a presenter. That's what I feel like he should have done.
no, but again,
You know what I mean? Like
Who
give him a smaller role.
who are your choices?
Okay, now so we're talking about you have to have a Canadian.
Yes.
You should have had Chris Bosch. I mean, he was part of it, but he should have been the guy.
No, but then
But he's
would've-
not even Canadian. Sorry, what am I saying? He's not even
Exactly.
Canadian. But he was there for some reason. That was a little bit odd.
Yeah, that is odd.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if we're talking Canadians,
Again, you don't get a musician too,
right? But you need. I'm trying to think of
because that's what they've done. They've had like Drake hosted it. They've had
That's right. Yeah.
I think last year was like Alessia Cara.
Yes, that was terrible.
Which-
oh my gosh, that was terrible. I watched that one too, by the way,
So
which is rare because I don't watch these
is
shows.
it an upgrade with Simu Liu?
No, it's the same. I think it was the same. I think it's not. They're not. It's not better. It's not worse. It's just the same. Like you
Yeah.
just,
So I mean,
you
again,
don't really do.
and now we're talking about the Junos, right? Like, who cares, right?
Yeah, no. People listening are probably, why are you talking about the Junos? We're not talking about Junos. We're just talking about like again the clip that we played for you guys. And yeah.
So do you remember what this was a play on?
No,
Like why he did this?
No. Why did he do
So
this?
to our younger listeners, it was a Molson Canadian commercial.
Yeah.
That was I Am Canadian.
Oh, okay, yeah,
you remember that?
I remember that commercial. Yeah.
Where he was like, presenting in front of a crowd,
Mm.
and there was like slides and stuff. And he's like, I like the Beavers, I blah blah blah, blah, and I am Canadian.
Yeah,
That
I
was
do
that,
remember that. Yeah.
and that went viral.
That's an old school.
That was huge. That was like was Canadian pride.
Mm-hmm.
This not so much. I know people are bigging it up because they think, oh yeah, they love it. This is their version of it. It was a little bit, in jest, but nah, I thought it was kind of cringy.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think, yeah, the more this guy does, the more I hate him. I don't know what to say. The dude, man, he's not. Yeah.
Whatever. I like Shang-Chi. I loved it, but I mean, I'm biased. So
Yeah, you are. I will say
you
like.
probably like Green Knight.
Sorry, what?
You probably like Green Knight.
Green Knight. Who's Green Knight?
The Green Knight.
The Green Knight.
Have you not watched it? Your boy
no,
Dev.
No, no, Dev Patel. No, I hated that movie. That was a bad movie. Yeah, it was a long and bad movie.
I liked it.
I'm trying to think of like Canadian comedians. Like, is there a Canadian
Jerry
comedian?
D. He's your only one.
Oh my, perfect.
No,
Jerry D should have did it.
no, Jerry D is.
I love Jerry D. By
He's
the way.
overrated. Okay, these are your choices. Jerry D,
Okay, yeah.
Russell Peters, overrated.
Oh wow, wow.
Again,
Wow,
you're biased too.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen Russell Peters live, and I
Yeah.
hated it so much.
Okay, but it's probably not your type of comedy.
No,
That's probably
okay, my
why.
type of comedy was I loved him with his first special.
Yeah.
The somebody gonna get a hurt,
Yeah,
right?
but
And then after that, downhill. Like it was a steep downhill. And every time I see him, it's just like
no,
you had your moment. And
that's a hot take. man.
I'm not gonna bash him for trying.
That's
Because it's hard to follow up. But
That's a
no,
hot take, man. I don't know.
no, I
a
can't.
lot of comedians would disagree with you there.
So
for
the-
sure, but
So when I watched him live, he couldn't do his old material. Okay, because
that's true, yeah.
it makes sense. But the whole time he was just kind of riffing on the audience.
that's what he does.
But it was all the same jokes.
It's all crowd.
All tap some bong and all that stuff, right? Like it's all similar, just making fun of people's names, and
okay, yeah.
there's nothing. I mean, it's kind of original because he's improvising a little bit, but it's same types of jokes, and did not feel original.
I think. Okay, was this a big venue?
No.
Oh, you went to a smaller venue.
Well, it wasn't a comedy club. He was on tour.
Okay, then no. So if this was a more intimate comedy club type of venue, then I think it might be different because
But
it's hard. It's hard to like interact with an audience when it's like a bigger venue, right?
Fair enough.
And I think that's where it suffers. But that's not to I wasn't there, but it sounds like that's probably why. And at the time, he can't do his old material, which was amazing stuff, right? So.
But he only had material for one show. Just that one special was good.
You didn't like
Did you like any of his other specials?
I mean, I haven't watched him since, but I'll watch clips of him, and there's still good. He still has some good stories and things like that, but I haven't seen a full special, so I don't know.
And for good reason.
I mean, yeah, you might be right there because I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. So JD, Russell Peters. Who's the other guys? Or was that it? We got two to choose from.
Of current guys, like there's a lot of great. There's a lot of great like Canadian comedians. Like some of them are dead, but like John Candy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You
But
have
there's
Martin Short.
There's no other like up and coming young guys. I don't know.
Cabby.
Cabby would have been great actually. He's not a comedian, but I mean
he's a host.
He's a host, but that's a good guy to put up.
Yeah. But he's not relevant to the Junos crowd.
Oh, I see.
Right.
I mean,
you need star power, and so you bring in Shang-Chi, right?
Yeah.
The headliner of an MCU movie. And that's why you put him there.
That's
right?
the only reason. And I can't believe he accepted it too. That was another thing.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
he did what he needed to do. Again, this is the guy who hosted SNL. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, I did know that. Yeah,
he hosted SNL.
But I didn't watch it.
He did decent. Again, SNL has been hit and miss. More miss lately.
Downhill for a while now.
But yeah, I mean he's on a high right now. Again. Shang-Chi was only a couple months ago.
Is high. No, this is. I mean, look, if it got buzz for the wrong reasons, which it seems like he's got buzz.
No, he's getting buzz for the good reasons. It's just that we do not
Canadian?
like it, but the Canadian people love it. They
Really?
eat it up.
Oh,
you say
okay.
Newfoundland, they're gonna go crazy.
Oh, jeez. All right.
You say Storm Chips, nuts.
Oh.
Because they want to feel validated.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
You have this Asian Canadian guy.
Yeah.
Who made it big in an MCU movie. Okay, just because of that, he's going to be on ET Canada like for years.
I hope not.
Okay, because we don't have a lot.
No, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like I look. Yeah. So I look at the audience reaction. That's what I look at, and I'm like, they tell me a lot.
Yeah.
Looking at the way they reacted tells me how how disengaged they are with him.
So again, bad venue. You're in an outdoor venue,
but still,
for an awards show. So it's not even a concert. And so it's hard to do that because even performing a Super Bowl is really, really hard. Getting the acoustics well and all that stuff. Like the sound engineering is really important for an outdoor venue like that.
But there was no issue with the sounds. Sound. I didn't think there was.
Well, it's broadcasted too. We're hearing.
We're hearing it
from the amp kind of thing, right? So, but for that kind of venue, it's not great because it's not like a quieter.
I see. Outdoor. There's a lot of outdoor noise going on, right?
Not even that. Like people are just cheering and all that stuff. Like this is like a bunch of fans and whatnot, and a little bit of. You know,
It's all young. It's a younger crowd. Yeah, 100%.
whereas when you have the Oscars, people stay silent when they are supposed to be quiet, and they applaud when they applaud, and so it's a very different kind of energy. This is like hosting at the Kids' Choice Awards.
Well, I'll say this to close this off. If he ended it with "I am Semen Liu," that would have won me over. I would have take back everything I said, but no. By the way, if you're listening, Simu, adopt that or have fun with it. It's good. It's a good name to use.
What are you in grade school?
I don't know. When I first, I think first of all, you're the one who brought that name up, not me.
I didn't say Simu Liu.
Yeah, you did.
I said Simu.
No, not now. I'm saying like before, like months
way.
ago. You were like semen, or it was. I'm pretty sure it was you.
No,
That you're
Nate.
like his name
No
sounds
way.
like semen. And
I
was
do not
like,
disrespect
I
my.
ran away with that. So
I do not disrespect my Asian brother.
All right. Well, let's move on. All right. So we actually we went to watch a movie.
Speaking about MCU, right?
Yeah, and so I guess fair warning to everybody listening. This we are going to be spoiling Doctor Strange. So we're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna give a little bit of a review, and yeah. So if you haven't seen it, just skip this part.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately it's hard to talk about this movie without.
Well, okay. I guess we can start
Not
off.
spoiling
Did you
it.
like it? Before we start spoiling, did you like it?
Okay. I like to do ratings, so I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's good. To me, 7 out of 10 is good. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just good. Just yeah,
Yeah, I think I have a 7 out of 10 too.
yeah.
There was a lot of good things about it, but as a whole, it just kind of felt empty.
That is actually a very good way to put it. So, I mean, before we got on air here, I was telling you like it's a forgettable movie. Like I haven't felt this way about like a really mainstream Marvel movie in a while. I mean, the Eternals. I don't consider.
Yeah, do you remember Eternals?
I don't consider that mainstream. It's just that's very offshoot to me. I mean, you sure it is mainstream, but I don't consider it because it's very. They're
If it's
introducing
in-
new characters. And
If
whatnot,
it's
right?
in the theaters,
Nah,
it's a mainstream movie.
nah. I know if we're going like that, but I mean, in terms of like the universe and knowing the characters, like not many people know who the Eternals are, right? So
No one.
yeah, so like I just, this is very it's just forgettable. Like I do, don't get me wrong, I do remember scenes and what happened in the movie, but I don't. A lot of the stuff is just very forgettable. Like it's just like in a year from now, I'm just gonna be like, you might ask me, and I might be like, oh yeah, I don't remember too much about the movie.
Is it because there was no importance to the movie?
So we got two different perspectives here, which is great because so I did not watch the TV show,
The Disney Plus shows.
Disney Plus shows.
All of them. You didn't watch any of them,
I
right?
didn't watch any of them.
So
at
whether
all.
it be WandaVision, Hawkeye, Captain Falcon,
Loki.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki.
I didn't watch any of them.
What If?
Correct. So I was coming in with the perspective of without any context either. There's no context from
You've watched all the MCU movies.
Yes.
Just that's it.
right. Exactly. So I've seen the movies, but no TV shows. So coming in, I was like I wasn't sure what to expect per se. Like obviously I seen a little bit of the trailers, so it's like I have some idea, but I didn't really know where the story was gonna go. And as soon as they started it, it felt a little bit like I was missing something. And I hate that, to be honest. Like I started watching, like when the movie started, and I was like sitting there and I was thinking to myself, okay, well, they didn't really kind of jumped into it, which is without too much backstory, which sucks for people in my situation. Right, and the good thing was you explained to me things before we watched the movie, which helped. But like at the same time, I still didn't watch any of the TV shows, so it's like I still kind of felt like, yeah, there's a big hole, you know. There's a lot of big holes missing, or that's not being filled, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is where we can start spoiling.
Okay. Yeah.
So spoiler warning. If you haven't watched Doctor Strange 2 or Doctor Strange Mom,
just skip it. Skip this part.
yeah, skip this part. So what he's referring to is especially with WandaVision. WandaVision was very important in watching this movie because you can call it the sequel. Where in WandaVision, Wanda basically enslaved a town out of grief and for losing vision, and then in that show, she finds out that she's the Scarlet Witch, so she has all these innate powers, so she's more powerful than she actually thought she was. And then in that, she also created her two sons, Wiccan and Speed, or Tommy and something else. And after realizing what she was doing in terms of enslaving a town to kind of more or less do her will, she decided to not do that anymore. And so she lost her two children because they were a creation of her magic.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And also, so with that, we move to this movie. Or actually, the post-ending credits for WandaVision was that she got hold of the Darkhold, which is this powerful dark magic book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That she's able to, and through that, she was able to look into different dimensions or universes, and she heard her kids calling her. And so that's kind of a premise of WandaVision, and which is important to this. And so what you kind of need to know about Wanda that you haven't really, you kind of may have seen before, is that Wanda is capable of doing evil things.
Well, sorry to, I guess, but like what you said there, she becomes Scarlet Witch. That is a very key thing, because if you're like someone like me who only watched the movies, that does not happen.
Yes, that's true, because
that is a very, very important fact that happens in the TV show, right?
Yeah, because the last time you see her in movies is Endgame.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? And she was powerful,
but
she didn't have her costume of Scarlet Witch, which then she basically unlocks that she's a witch, and she's more powerful than just this chaos magic.
And she's still a good, like a good guy, I guess.
Good
girl.
Again, so technically she was still a good.
She was a hero.
She was a hero.
Yeah.
Even in WandaVision, it's just like she.
What it sounds like to be like she became a.
Not really.
Villain at the end, no? Or?
She was viewed as a villain.
Towards the end, right?
Because of what she did, but she did things out of love,
right?
Out of grief. So she's understood. But what her actions were unethical, right?
Yeah.
So like you can see things creeping, like, you know what, like her methods were questionable, which happens a lot with really good villains, right? Especially with good villain stories like Thanos. You know, he lost his world titan.
Yeah.
He lost everyone due to overpopulation. And that
was his basically the reasoning behind
about why he wanted to do what he wanted to do, which was take away half the population so that people can thrive. So he's doing things for the greater good.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of weird how he chose half, but anyways, go on.
Why choose 60%?
I know.
Just do half. It's cleaner, right? Okay, so whatever. So you can see things leading up that building up, like, hey, she is capable of doing bad things, and even so, like even in Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron. She
Oh,
started off
she
as a
started
bad
off as,
person,
yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah, as a villain. Yeah, that's right.
And so she can do this stuff, but when WandaVision, she became a lot more sympathetic
Yes.
because she's a mother. And so in this movie, basically, in a few lines, if you haven't watched WandaVision, she says they showed a little bit of her losing her children. Right? They showed a scene of, but then if you didn't watch it, like, who are these kids?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right?
there's a lot of confusion that comes into play. Like, who are these kids? Where do these kids come from?
Why they disappear?
Why they disappear? Like, how did she like her powers being super like she's just super OP. Like she's
Yeah.
she's crazy powerful. Like how did that happen out of nowhere? Like again, from my perspective, obviously. And,
Well, so that stuff happened before she found out she was a Scarlet Witch. So like,
but that's during the TV show,
she created
right?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even in the comics, she's very OP as well.
Yeah, no, right. That's true. That is very true. But so yeah, anyway, so like there's that missing piece that happens, and so obviously you're watching the movie, and now like now we I guess we shift over to Doctor Strange, and I enjoyed the first movie. Very very good character development in my opinion.
Okay.
This one feels like he feels like I don't know. It's just weird. He doesn't feel like he's like the. At times, he doesn't feel like he's the main guy or the main person in this movie. It just there are times where he is, yes, but like as you go through the movie, like for instance, when they discover the girl with the powers, and like he just feels secondary.
I agree with you. I think this was a Wanda movie.
Yes.
Or at least she
that
sold
is
the
a
show.
great way to put it. Like this was way more of a Wanda movie than a Doctor Strange movie.
So I think one of the issues, whether it be the issue with Benedict Cumberbatch, I think he's a good actor, but one of the issues was you didn't care about him.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, he does cool things, but you don't care about his life outside of being Doctor Strange. Well, the thing is, he doesn't have a life outside of Doctor Strange. Do you, like, what does he do
Yeah, he's not
on his off time?
He's not a relatable character.
Like,
He lives in a Buddhist temple area, kind
yeah.
of. Right?
So, like,
none of us live or can relate to that, right? He's not as relatable. And
Yeah.
that's not to downplay.
I mean, it's not
his
like
character, but like you know what I mean. Like a lot of times we can relate to characters because there's some human aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, this is why I like the first one because there was some human aspect. This doesn't. I mean,
So you
to a
again,
certain
you
extent,
still
yeah.
have to build off of the first one, right? Because the
True.
thing is, you can't rehash
No, but they're not building off the first one. They're building off of
a lot of things. But his character is building off of the last like 5 movies he was in, anyway.
yeah, yes, correct, yes.
Right. He was in Spider-Man. He was in Endgame and all those other movies.
Right,
Right.
exactly, yeah.
So, but in terms of his character, because the thing is, there's things that have kind of continued from the first movie, which was his love with Christine. I think that's her name, Christine.
I didn't
Which-
even I didn't even remember that, to be honest.
Well, because
that was very like I was
even
like,
the first movie, no one cared.
yeah, like it didn't even. I was like, okay, sure.
Like, I loved like Rachel McAdams,
Yeah,
but the chemistry between him and Benedict Cumberbatch was,
not there.
you did not believe this was a long lost love or whatever.
It felt like acquaintances. That's what it felt like. I agree with you, man. It felt like it just felt that way. There was no like, it was not believable. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the way to put it too as well. Yeah.
Like, this was losing Christine was his number one regret. Like,
yeah, I didn't believe
feel
him. When he said that, I didn't
No.
believe him either. That was weird. No. So I guess moving like there was some part like I will say this there was a lot of cool like Marvel does their animation. I don't want to call it animation, but their
CG.
The CG was really good in this movie.
Yeah, and there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it for sure. There's definitely a lot of cool scenes. I mean, the first cool scene I thought was when they were going through all the metaverses, or is it metaverses or multiverses? Sorry, multiverses, and you get a glimpse of like all the different well, not all, but like some of the multiverses, and like there were some things I was like it's like it opens up your mind a little bit, you know, like because you see there's one that really caught my eye, and that was the paint one.
Yes, the paint one.
The paint one was crazy. I was like, wow, I like no one would have thought, no one could ever really think about like a multiverse where it's just your paint. Like that's wild.
No, it's cool. It's. I'm glad that they got to have a little fun with the types of universes that they could think of, whether it be, and even some nods for fans, like probably would have been Savage Land, which is the dinosaur world.
Yeah.
Or when they went all comic booky.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, comic book. Yeah, multiverse. Yeah, that was pretty cool
paint
too.
one is pretty
That was
cool.
very unique. Yeah.
But it's weird that they ended up in a basically very close to Earth.
Yeah.
It's like
It was-
semi-futuristic.
It was futuristic. You know what? I somehow, you know what? In my mind, I was like, they're probably gonna go that route, and they did.
Yeah, it was too safe.
Yeah, it was way too safe. Unfortunately, it was too safe, too predictable-ish.
But I guess there was a lot of other things in that world which were kind of cool too. So I mean, I would have wished it was something crazier, but
Yeah, they should have.
I guess for the story, it made sense. They couldn't go too crazy or also be too distracting.
Yeah, they had to make it fit the story for sure. I don't think they could have. I mean, I don't know. I guess they wanted to go safe for sure. Yeah, so that was one of the cool scenes. Another one, I love this one, but and I think a lot of people, like when you first see it, what I'm about to say, it doesn't hit you right away, but it's as it goes on, it's really cool, and that's the fight scene with the musical notes.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
That's so unique. Like
yeah,
I love that they were able to implement a fight scene that no one has ever seen before.
yeah, 100%. Wow, I was yeah. So like at first you see it and it's just like, huh?
Yeah.
But then it gets way more creative, and it's like, oh wow, this is cool. This is really cool. So man, kudos to them on like that. This is why my score might have been lower if not for some of these like cool CG aspects and just cool ideas, right? Integrating cool ideas into a movie that is like very forgettable. So, yeah, in terms of like characters. So let's get into some characters because I think this was kind of cool. They because they're going through the multiverse, they introduced, or should I say reintroduced, some characters.
Reintroduce some characters, yeah.
Yeah. You might have to help me out here, but like, what's that guy's name again?
Okay, so they introduced. This was kind of spoiled, a little bit spoiled in the trailers, but they introduced the Illuminati,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Not Jay-Z.
I didn't know who the Illuminati was in the movie, like in the Marvel universe. But
So
I wasn't spoiled, but yeah.
Oh no! So the Illuminati is a group of some of the most smartest and most powerful characters in the Marvel universe.
Okay. Yeah.
Who kind of behind the scenes plan or try to prevent certain things. Most famously, they sent the Hulk into space.
Oh.
Because the Hulk was a threat, so that was the premise of Planet Hulk,
Okay.
which is one of a really good comic series.
Mm.
And then afterwards, Hulk came back to Earth and ripped shit in World War Hulk.
Okay.
But yeah, they sent him into space. And that was formed of, Mr. Fantastic, Namor.
Wait, who's Namor?
Namor is basically Aquaman.
Oh,
He
he
is
wasn't in. They
Marvel
didn't show
Aquaman.
him.
No.
didn't- Oh, okay.
They had, who else is in Illuminati? I'm trying to think if Professor X is in that or not. I don't remember.
They might have just.
Yeah, I mean,
did whatever.
they just had some of the world's smartest heroes or whatever form that. So
Yeah. So
in this
movie,
one,
yeah.
this iteration of Illuminati, they had
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, played by John Krasinski, which was wild because if you are not into the whole fandom, he was fan casted for many years, thinking like people were saying, "Oh, John Krasinski, Jim from The Office would be the best
Mr.
Mr.
Fantastic.
Fantastic."
Oh,
I don't think so,
Yeah.
but I think his wife would be a great Sue Storm, Emily Blunt, and I think just out of that,
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think she'd be great.
Yeah. It's not a bad casting.
And
for
so, like,
sure.
you know what, husband and wife, why not? Let's put John Krasinski. I don't think so, and it showed. He was not a great Mr. Fantastic in this movie. I did not feel it.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
He did
about
not
that.
feel like the smartest man in the world.
He felt too nice.
True, as Mr. Fantastic is sometimes a jerk.
Yeah.
He's too
yeah.
intellectual.
Right, yeah. And this one, he felt a little too nice. I just
Well,
kind of was like,
when
eh.
you're when your first option to deal with Wanda ripping shit is to say, let's talk to her.
Yeah, that's bad. That is. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that was on purpose but that was bad. That was a bad line to you. Like, that was just. I don't know why they wrote it like that, but yeah.
Okay, so then we have next person is Black Bolt.
Okay, yeah, Black Bolt, the guy who. Could,
Yeah, he's also in the comics too. In the Illuminati, he's the leader of the Inhumans. One of the worst MCU show, or it wasn't a MCU show. It was Marvel shows out there
Yeah.
that failed. I think got canceled after its second episode. But surprisingly, the actor in the TV show reprised his role in the movie.
Okay, yeah. I didn't watch.
So he
it,
was
but yeah.
there. I didn't really care. Next one is be Mordo, isn't it? Because he was replacing the Doctor Strange who died in that universe.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
There was two girls. Who's the
oh
two
yeah. So
girls?
then there was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Who is-
well, not
Well, not Brie Larson Captain Marvel or Carol Danvers, but it was Monica Rambeau.
Mhm.
And so like that's cool, because she was Carol Danvers' best friend, and it's more of like a what if. Like, what if she became Captain Marvel instead?
Yeah.
Cool, right? Because also, if you watch Captain Marvel was a human who got those powers, those Kree
Yeah,
powers, right?
yeah.
So it could have been anyone. It's like a Spider-Man thing, right? It could have been anyone. And then the next
who's
would have
the-
been
what's her name? I forget. her
Peggy
name.
Carter.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Cap. Is it
Captain Britain.
Is that
Or
what it- it's not Captain America?
well,
Is it-
she's not Captain America. She had the Union Jack on her
oh,
on her
okay.
shield.
So Captain
So
Britain.
she was introduced in What If, the TV show, where what if Peggy Carter was the one who got the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. So that was a cool cameo or nod to that, because she was in the show. She was kind of cool. It's just like she kind of held her own and kind of thing.
Well, I mean, we're gonna spoil it more.
So yeah, so
but-
stuff like that. But then the biggest surprise, which was not a surprise because his voice was in the trailer, which was kind of stupid. why
it was
they did
a
that.
surprise for me because I didn't see that trailer. But yeah, go
But
on.
what was a surprise was that he came in his yellow hover chair, and then they played. I was like,
For those of you,
Oh, God.
For those of you listening, that's X-Men.
yeah,
Professor
X-Men,
X.
the '97 cartoon series.
Yep, the original.
And they brought back Patrick Stewart, who said he didn't want to be in a Marvel comic book movie again.
Any why
Came out of
did he do
retirement.
that? Okay, that's I
He
didn't
pulled
know
a Tom
that.
Brady,
Yeah,
came out of
interesting.
retirement.
Okay.
and that was, I mean, wasn't surprising, but it was cool that it happened.
Yeah, so like it was definitely very like for me it was a surprise because I wasn't expecting any of that, so it was cool. Like, and I think so. Now we'll get into the next part.
This was the so surprising
this
part.
was probably the most surprising part, but they all just got murdered. They all got murdered like it was nothing. And yeah, well, I'll let you go first.
But it
on
was
this,
so
but-
cool. And the
Yes.
fact that they did that in a Disney movie.
Right. So this is the surprise part because it's a Disney movie, but it went dark. It got dark pretty I would say quick, but like at that point in the movie I was like, "Whoa." Like I love it when, like, I hate to say this, but I love it when they kill characters, and I hate it when a character doesn't die when they should have died.
And
I hate when, like, they, someone defeats a character, but they just defeat him. They don't end the other character. So I was pleasantly happy about this.
so yeah,
Which is a weird thing to say, but yeah, it was but it was very violent.
yes.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. I guess they had that opportunity because you're playing in a different universe, so there's no consequences.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because you can just say, "Oh, they're alive in a separate universe, so they can come back anyway." So the thing is, and these people you didn't really build relationships with, so they're basically
Yeah,
all
you're not
re-
really-
They're
yeah.
all like, you have some kind of attachment to them due to their like other universe counterparts,
Yeah.
but they're all red shirts. Like, they're there to be killed to show how powerful Wanda is.
Yeah.
And it
Scarlet
worked.
Witch, yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it was that was good. That was good action, good fight scenes for sure. Even though it was very quick, to be honest, that was very quick. Like, she ended them, like the I guess when Black Bolt's first died, because he was the 1st one to die.
I'm glad that was the first one because that was the most shocking one.
Yeah, they like, how like when in movies there's twists. This is not a twist, but this is a, hey, you're not gonna see this coming, and they pulled that off pretty well. Like, that was a good change of I guess, pace, if you want to say, right? Like, it was just like, whoa, okay, like, all right, you all right, you guys are gonna really go there, but yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that was the best of the death scenes, and it was the most shocking one.
I don't think.
What?
Yeah.
Turning Mr. Fantastic into spaghetti? No,
You didn't think that was good?
that was fine.
I mean,
And so the thing
yeah.
is, it's kind of been done before because Thanos kind of did that to
Oh, he did. I didn't remember this.
Mantis.
No, but this
Turn
is,
into, like,
you talk about it
silly
in the
string.
comics books?
No,
In the movie?
in Infinity War, I think.
I don't remember this.
She came back because, I mean, she got back into normal form, but just like to like cast her aside, she like turned into like string or whatever, or yarn, or like a spring or something like that.
Maybe. Okay,
So it was
okay,
like-
yeah, I
It was
vaguely remember, but
not that original, but it made sense for Mr. Fantastic, who's based on being stretchy.
yeah,
Now turn him into
I
spaghetti.
the only thing I didn't like was Captain Marvel, how she died, or because
Well, did she die?
she did. I don't think she died. That's the thing. Like,
Well, and it doesn't really matter.
that's a good point. It doesn't.
A different
I mean,
universe, right?
Yeah,
But
it is. Yeah.
no, you know who
She
I
didn't really, like, it was just weird. Like, you just drop a statue on her, and she got knocked out from that. Like,
Yeah, she's-
how weak are you? Like,
Well-
you're supposed to be Captain Marvel.
True. She's
Right.
supposed to be one of the most powerful.
Yeah. Like, how do you? I was like, okay, sure.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah,
No,
that-
know
that
who
was-
who went out weak? Mordo. He got trapped. He got trapped in a trench.
He didn't even. He's so smart. He's like, I'm gonna wait until the others come back. and they didn't come back. Yeah, no, you know what? There was some smart editing by whoever did the editing for that movie, because basically they were fighting Scarlet Witch and they were all dying, and then they would cut to him. He's like talking to Doctor Strange. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna wait so we can all have a vote." It's like, nope, and yeah, that wasn't happening. But yeah, no, those were some good parts, for sure. I'm trying to think like what were like.
There was a lot of other parts, man. You're missing, like even that the fight near the beginning with Shumagorath. Well, I don't know if he's called
He's talking
Shumagorath in
about
this movie. The
the
squid with one
right?
eye.
One eye, yeah.
That was kind of cool.
I mean, it was okay. I mean,
Okay,
it was okay.
I understand it's not that special because fighting creatures, it happens a lot in these movies, right?
Yeah.
But at least it was distinguishable from, let's say. So what I didn't like was Eternals, them fighting nameless monsters and stuff like that. It just, you didn't really care.
Yeah, but
This was like a weird creature that didn't look like a transformer.
Oh, I don't know. I felt it was too short to like. It was more of an introductory.
It is.
Which that's why I didn't think too much of
Okay,
it.
fair enough. No, so this
yeah.
was not the first one. This was the second one. Doctor Strange
Oh, sorry, yeah, the second one, yeah.
meets, encounters America for the first time.
Yeah, speaking of her, so she's, I didn't really like her character that much.
Didn't really do much for her, anyways.
Yeah, like she it just felt weird. Like it's just like, okay, a kid with powers, and it's like, okay, like I don't know. It just wasn't built. Like she just wasn't a likable character for me either. I don't know. I keep thinking about. I'm like, I don't know. I never liked her character, but but yeah, she was very non likable.
Yeah, I mean, she was fine. I think she was just fine. Again, there wasn't a whole lot to build for her. Yeah, the whole thing is, she was her powers were stunted because she didn't really know how to use them, right? Because she's young. She didn't believe in herself. It was stunted because when they got activated, she sent her parents off into a different universe. So she's also afraid as well.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that scene? Because that's the one that had a little bit of controversy. So what had happened
because
is
she had two female.
she had two
parents?
moms, right? And so there's a little bit of controversy because I think it was Saudi Arabia or one of the Middle Eastern countries banned the film.
Oh, because it was two moms. Oh,
because of two moms.
I mean, you know what? I when I first saw it, I was like, I was in my mind, I was like, you know what? Are you guys really going there? I was like, you know what? If you're gonna go there, fine. Like at this point, it's like it doesn't bother me, but it's just like I expect it from Disney. I expect it, which is why it wasn't like it didn't like surprise me or wasn't controversial for me personally. But it's just like I expect you to kind of throw this stuff in my face at this point.
But it wasn't really in your face because what Disney does is they just give you a little bit, but they don't commit.
Right, little, yeah.
Like,
so it was small. Yeah, you're correct, exactly. It was small enough that I didn't care.
Yeah.
So, but I just, yeah, it was a very like short, like less than 2 minutes, I think, of a clip where they showed that. And I was like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. Like you could kind of say like. You could kind of sketch it up to saying, "Oh, this is a multiverse. Like anything could happen, yada yada." Right? Like, so that's why I didn't think too much of it. But but yeah, like I don't know. Like, here's the thing. So with her, like, so I didn't like her name,
America Chavez.
Yeah, I really didn't like her name because at the beginning, when the movie started and they started saying her name, I kept questioning: is her name really America?
Yeah.
And I had to say it I had to like hear it a few times and say it to myself. I was like, wait, that really is America. And then I was like, it's a weird name to give a character. I mean, it's a little pet, I'm complaining a little bit, sure, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, that's her name in the comics.
oh, is
so,
it? Okay,
yeah.
okay, then fine. I'll leave that alone.
So I have no
'cause-
idea why it is that way, but yeah, that's just her name.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. What do you
So
what do you
there's-
think about yeah, sorry, go on.
So I mean, there's a lot of great other scenes that you missed out, like just like little things, just the whole vibe even in the second half of the movie, of just it became this whole chase, right?
Okay,
Of
yeah.
Wanda chasing them and then them running away, and it became sort of the most horror that the MCU has ever had.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Like-
that's very true.
When she went into the mirror dimension and then she got out like through the puddles,
Oh yeah, it was early
that
in
was
the movie.
that was so cool.
That was pretty cool.
Right,
Yeah.
and then she like came out like the ring,
Yes.
or
It was weird because like there were a lot of horror elements to this movie that I was not expecting.
and so this is a very so if you know who the
Right.
director is, which is Sam Raimi, he started off in horror with Evil Dead and stuff like that. So
Well,
so
okay,
he brought a lot of those things.
He did, but he did the first 3 original Spider-Man
Yeah.
movies, which is
Not
there's no
okay,
horror in
but
that.
there was one scene, in Spider-Man 2
yeah.
where it was very Sam Raimi kind of that horror influences.
Okay,
right?
which one?
When Doc Ock becomes Doc Ock, when he wakes up,
Yeah, after the
after
explosion.
after the explosion,
Yeah.
and the arms start doing its thing when they're operating on him with the chainsaws and stuff. That was a complete horror scene. And then they had those Sam Raimi things of like putting the camera in the perspective of the attacker
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that was like probably one of the best scenes in that movie.
Right. It's okay. Yeah. I don't know, but you're right. He did integrate like a lot of horror aspects from his previous movies. The one that got to me, the one that really stuck out to me in terms of horror was Professor X dying. That one that really spelt horror because you had like the red mist covering him, and he's trying to help the other multiverse Wanda come out of the whatever she was in.
Yeah.
And as he's pulling her, the Scarlet Witch comes behind and just snaps his neck. But she didn't look like
No, she was like
Wanda. She
demon
looked like
Wanda.
a witch, or the demon. Yeah, exactly. So that's when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, this is this is definitely different for sure. That one, yeah, I think that was probably if you want to talk about horror, that's probably the most horror moment for me in the whole movie.
But then they were even playing with like a zombie strange.
It wasn't. You know what? It wasn't as bad as I think about it now, and I'm like,
The more we talk about the movie's not that bad. Again, it's moments, but as a whole, it just kind of seemed a little.
it's too all over the place. No.
It's something I appreciate about the movie, that it didn't have to be like some huge stakes to the movie.
Yeah.
And you kind of expected it as like Multiverse Madness. Oh, this is going to break open the multiverse for the MCU.
Yeah.
But then it kind of contained itself again into just this movie, because like, what are the implications for the future of the MCU? Not much. A little. It just kind of introduced you little things, but it wasn't like a MCU thing that kind of blew everything up. So I don't think it needed to do that, but people were expecting it, so that's why it's a little bit disappointing in that way.
Yeah, I I actually think a majority of people probably came out and felt the same way we felt, where it was just a good movie. It's not nothing.
It was a very fun movie. It was a very fun movie in terms of, again,
well, not for kids, but
but it just wasn't consequential.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I go back to this, but like in terms of context, like it sucks that you have to kind of watch the shows.
Yeah, I get it.
To kind of know what's going on. Unfortunately.
But this is what comic books are like, anyways. Now,
Well, yeah.
comic books
sure.
are all about that. So
Yeah.
now they're really adopting it. When you have 28 movies and 5 shows, you kind of
Yeah.
have to.
What'd you think of the ending?
I liked it. I liked the way they resolved the whole
So
Wanda stuff.
right, so Wanda just basically has a she basically meets her kids, I'll say not her kids, but multiverse kids, and they witness her in a evil state, I guess, and they get scared, and she sees that, and she has this little bit of a aha moment, or not aha moment, but like a realization that, oh crap, like
What have I
I'm
become?
bad, or yeah, exactly what have I become, and then she basically says, okay, no more, and ends her evil doing.
Yeah. So it was very much like
And when I say end, sorry, when I say end, she did she kill herself? She didn't kill herself.
kinda. She took down Wondergore, which was the home of the Darkhold,
Right.
and
She did what she did to Captain Marvel. That's what she did.
basically, yes. So she actually might
Yeah.
still be alive. Who knows, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I liked the way they resolved it by America saying, "Here, this is what you wanted. Have it." She gave her what she wanted, and then she realized, "Oh, this is not what I wanted." Right? This is how
I
you.
don't know. You know what? My opinion is this was a Disney ending. A Disney ending to a
What would you have
weird-
wanted? You wanted her to like. She's powerful. She's too powerful. She took down Doctor Strange.
like I would have preferred this might be odd for me to say, but like I would have preferred if as an example, maybe they seal her away, kind of thing, as a way to end the movie. Instead of killing her, they could have sealed her in another multiverse or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
But I guess it's redeem. You want to give her a redeeming moment
But-
because she's not. So this is what a lot of the bad Marvel movies have done with bad villains: is they just kill them, or they just
Yeah.
seal them away, or they do whatever, send them into a different dimension or whatever, and you don't care about them. But the thing is that you've had a history with Wanda,
yeah.
and she's shown to be redeemable. So you want her to have that, like, you know what?
you don't want to kill
I'm
her.
now realizing the errors of my way.
Yeah. I struggle with the ending a little bit. I mean, it's not a bad ending. It's just, it's a Disney ending. It just felt too Disney for me because like I said, like throughout the whole movie, you're getting pulled in different directions, and you're seeing different elements of a Marvel movie that you normally don't see. So
Yeah.
so you're throwing the audience into kind of like this this blender, and you're
Yeah.
blending it all together, and then at the end you're like cherry cherry on top. That's what you did, and I'm like, all right. I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's just
I
that's
get
what you do.
it.
Yeah.
But I think the whole thing is, not to reiterate myself, but you want Wanda to redeem herself.
Yeah. I get it.
And-
Like they're putting an end to her story arc, right? To a certain
Because
extent,
she was dealing with this, like the reason why she went evil is out of grief.
Oh,
Right?
you know what? I just came into a realization.
What?
So we were talking about like the human aspects, right?
Uh-huh.
Doctor Strange not really having too much human aspects.
Mhm.
I think they were trying to put the human aspects towards Wanda
Well, yes. So,
and make her the more relatable character.
well, the whole time she kind of was, because you can say this was a little bit justified because she's doing this for her kids.
Right, exactly.
That she's been living in a nightmare this whole time where she dreams about her kids and then she wakes up and she doesn't have it. She
You know
lives in
what?
this reality.
That's right. So you know what? And part of this is like, I mean, you have kids, so you might be able to relate more, obviously. But like, I would imagine if a mother was to watch this movie, they will have way more. They would be able to relate more.
Yeah, they're more sympathetic.
Exactly. So that's why I think it's just coming into this. Just thinking about it right now, it's like, okay, this probably makes more sense for mothers or females because
Yeah.
that probably will. They'll probably have a little bit of a better understanding, or people with kids,
Yeah.
right? But
Like
single guys like me.
when you talk to anyone, they'll say they'd do anything for their kids, right?
right? Yeah.
So
So
this is exactly that manifestation that they would
mm.
be a mass murderer for their kids.
that's a good point. That is. I mean, I don't want to say it's a good point, but that's a.
Well, I mean, again, she was
a good
influenced
way
by the
of saying it.
Darkhold, which has very evil properties and have been speaking into her to, and so that's why she turned full evil. But she snapped out of it in the end.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that might have been the problem is that the relatableness was not towards your majority audience, which is people that are comic book. I mean, like, yeah, no, I'm serious.
No,
I think it is. Like, I really think they did. Like, I'm thinking about this now because like it feels that way now. It feels like that's where they were going. Obviously, there's a bit of a mix with Doctor Strange being in there. Obviously, as the main, he's supposed to be the main character. But at the same time, America, she's a child. She got lost. She doesn't have her parents no more. Right, like that comes into play as well. So I think there's a little bit of a direction where they wanted to aim for that part where it's mothers and children. I don't know. I might be grasping for straws, but if it kind of there's a bit of that going on for sure.
I think why there's no permanence to this movie is because it was not the whole relatable thing,
Yeah.
but it was more of there was not a whole lot of emotional beats to it. It was very plot heavy,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
so
for
it was
sure.
about moving things along. And so doesn't have to be a very emotional movie, but it was about okay, let's go to this, go to that, go to that. And so it's constantly on the move. Whole movie was constantly on the move without a whole lot of time to breathe.
Does that remind you of Star Wars?
Yeah,
Yeah. Remember
Oh,
episode
that's-
7? No.
No,
Episode 8.
I would say episode 9. Let's go here. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Episode 8 was one of my favorite.
Yeah, episode 8 was the one where they were just
Hopping
going-
everywhere.
Yeah, that's the one. Episode 9 was the
Also,
Sith Lord reveal.
yeah. So episode 9 was one of the worst Star Wars movies, but they also were hopping here. Like, okay, let's go here. Let's go there. There's a lot of MacGuffins in terms of, oh, this one device will lead us to this other device, which will lead us to this other device.
But anyways.
So that was a very plot heavy thing, not thinking about the whole motions of everything.
Yeah,
but
that-
so that's part of why it doesn't feel like it has any resonance to us,
Yeah.
other than the spectacle of it. So it was a very good spectacle. It was a very fun roller coaster ride,
Right.
but it wasn't. It did not hit anyone in the feels or anything like that.
That's true. I could agree with that. But yeah, no, I think thinking about it now, I think I still stick with my 7 out of 10. After talking about this thoroughly, but what are you still there too?
The more we talk about it, it's like, oh man, this movie is a lot better than I remember it. But I think it's 7 because I think what we just talked about, there was a lack of permanence.
Yeah.
But I had a fun time. It was a very, very fun movie, but it's not in my top 10 Marvel movies.
Oh no, hands down, definitely not. But yeah, all right. Well, that was the Doctor Strange. Is it Enter the Multiverse or Into the Multiverse or Multiverse?
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
In the multi. Yeah, there you go. That's the review.
Doctor
guys.
Strange mom.
But yeah, any last words on that, or no?
Go ahead and watch it if you haven't. But if you've been listening to us You probably watched it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and I think we should have. Oh, I think like if you didn't watch the show, you probably should watch the show for sure. Like the WandaVision.
I would say one, yeah,
Yeah,
because
watch
it gives some
WandaVision.
backstory to the whole turn of Wanda.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah. All right. Well, I think I think we could close it off. As always, people, like and subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. And yeah, I think go check out Doctor Strange. It's not a bad movie. It's not an amazing movie, but it's a solid one. Or if not, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on Disney Plus at some point in time too, as
Yep.
well. So, but yeah, I think we will see y'all next time. All right, see y'all.
See ya.